You're tuned in to the Rewind Guys podcast, the show where we watch, discuss, and rate old movies, new movies, movies that defined our childhoods, and others we've never seen or even heard of before. This week, we're going on a jerky?
This week, we're going on Jergens.
It's so stupid.
You're about to engage in a conversation you know or care nothing about.
All right. Centered. All right. Welcome back to the Rewind Guys podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Andrews, joined by Mike Andrus.
What's up?
And Russell Andrews. This week, we're talking about the sci-fi comedy Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. This movie is rated PG, was filmed here in the U.S., was released July 19th, 1991, has a runtime of 1 hour and 34 minutes, had a budget of $20 million, and made $38 million in the box office. This movie stars Alex Winter as Bill, Keanu Reeves as Ted, William Sadler as the Grim Reaper, and was directed by Peter Hewitt.
Peter Herman?
No. Will whoever picked this movie tell us a little bit more about Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey?
Oh, who picked the movie?
You did.
Wow. This was a gift from God. Okay. Yeah. What do we talk? Bill and Ted's what's it called? Bogus Journey is about a bogus journey that was taken by Bill and Ted.
Oh, fantastic.
He's not a merciful God.
Why did you pick Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey?
Well, we did Bill and Ted, the first one,
Yes.
because I wanted to watch the third one. So I picked the second one because we watched the first one, and I want to watch the third one.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
I thought you counted down.
We started at 3, work right back.
Yeah.
No, this is not a Star Wars situation where it just, all the numbers make no sense.
So,
Yeah.
I have to say, after we watched the first one, I decided to quickly watch a trailer. So this is going back like a week or whatever. I decided to quickly watch the trailer for the second one, and it looked nothing like the first one. In fact, honestly, I was a little scared to get into this movie. And I had to look it up because I was curious to see if it had the same writers. It does. But a different
that's
director.
obvious.
You think so?
Dude,
Yeah.
this is so much the same gosh darn movie.
Oh, no, I disagree.
I mean, okay.
It does have a different director. But I honestly thought when I was looking it up, it was going to have a different writer or different set of writers because I feel like, to me, it seemed like somebody watched the first one and was like, all right, we're writing the sequel to this movie, and they just brought way more Bill and Ted into this movie.
It's Bill and Ted's movie.
Yeah, so was the first one, and I feel like there was other characters and stuff and things
Listen,
happening.
This movie was excellent.
No, I don't know. I just feel like what the fuck? Is this gonna be the whole episode?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
I'm just trying to be excellent to
We got
you
evil
guys.
Russell over here.
Yeah. Oh man. I'm sorry. It felt like you have Bill and Ted, you have evil Bill and Ted, robot Bill and Ted. You had other people who weren't Bill and Ted become Bill and Ted. This was so much, and I feel like
That was the point.
No.
Don't you see in the future, and they predicted it in the first one, in the future, everything revolves around Bill and Ted. They're like gods. And so, as we get more into the future, because this movie obviously takes place later,
Right.
everything's more about Bill and Ted, and more about Bill and Ted, and more and more and more. And then the third one is just going to be everybody's played by Bill and Ted, I feel like.
That'd be weird.
I'm excited to see that.
I don't know. I was not eager to get into this movie. I watched the first maybe 15 minutes 3 times.
Really?
Yes.
You didn't see the penis helmets.
I did not.
I love
did
the
not.
costumes.
Oh,
I love-
I showed him the penis helmets while you were
Over the
away.
top, like foam, giant boots, really colorful. It was really cool.
See, I knew
It
this was going to happen.
interesting. It was interesting.
I knew when I hated this, and we were kind of like touching up on it a little bit, talking, and I knew it. I'm like, I hate this. You're probably going to love this because when the movie opens up, you get this Nomalos. What the hell is his name? Demalos? Demalos.
Cinco de Mayo? I don't know.
What's his name?
Denomalos or something?
Denomalos. I think you're right. Okay, great. Thank you. I'm going to forget that, though. Denomalos. Okay, he's prepping his soldiers because they got to take these fools out. You know, they can't possibly be the future, his future anyway.
But he should know that. He has a time machine. He can see the future.
Yeah,
He knows there's no way to stop
no,
it.
don't want to get into this. Don't want to get into this. I hate that it comes up on the screen and it says it's San Dimas, 2691 AD. They had to specify AD.
Well, yeah.
No.
It's the future. For all you know,
Dumb.
there's another. We don't know. But when it was BC, at the time, nobody knew it was going to be BC until they made AD. It's the future. They might make something called GZ.
Oh,
We
yeah.
wouldn't know?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So they're still
Whatever.
specifying it. We're
Okay.
still calling it 80.
Fine, whatever. Okay. Yeah, and
Got schooled.
I have a note here that I am complete opposite with you. When it started the school and everybody's wearing these ridiculously over the top boots that
I hated
apparently
it.
are so hard to walk. Why are you wearing these?
You could see the actress is struggling to walk in those boots.
Yes, but that's fashion.
And everything's made out of
got a
like
point.
these recycled yoga mats or something. It's like this foamy shit.
Wait,
This
you don't
is
wear
great.
you don't wear recycled yoga mats?
No.
Let's go
What?
back 100 years, look at what was normal, and then think about what's normal now. And people are going to be like, why are they wearing this? It's so cumbersome. Why are they doing this? This is nonsense. This is never going to happen. It's the same crap.
Dude, go back to the 90s. Do you remember Jinko jeans?
Oh yeah. Oh, I hated those too.
I'm just saying, like,
You probably wore those. You wore those, didn't you, son of a bitch?
I had one pair.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Yeah, no, I'm watching this and dude, the one thing I'm like, okay, those are kind of fun is when they put those wraparound little glasses things on. Cause I've never seen this before. So I thought,
Those pissed me off.
really? Well, hold on, wait. Maybe they pissed you off for the same reason they pissed me off because they put them on and I thought when they engaged with all the electricity going on, there was going to be like some sort of like hologram something, and that's what the glasses were for. But then Rufus shows up with some, other like musicians and stuff. 'Cause it's all about like sound reverberations or whatever. And they take the glasses off, so they were only for protection. I wish they served more of a purpose because I like those.
Yeah, I was really annoyed. I thought they put them on to like interact with the computers or something, and they just all took them right off immediately. And I'm like, oh, that was fucking lame.
Yeah, I thought the same exact thing.
It wasn't in the budget to make those cool.
Yeah, I guess not. And I'm assuming you probably loved them. Like those are great safety glasses.
I thought, look at all the rest of the outfit.
Yeah, it all sucked.
It was
No, it was bad.
future. You know who's going to be laughing in 20? What was it? Was the year 2091?
26 and 91.
26. Yeah, when we
Well,
make it to 2691. Oh, 2691. Shit, I thought it was 2091.
No, 26.
Okay,
91.
well, in 600 years.
Yeah, okay.
This will still be on YouTube, right?
Yeah, maybe.
So that makes my point even more valid. Go back 600 years, look what people were wearing back then, and compare it to now. We're wearing some crazy ass shit.
Yeah, I guess that might be true. You know what? I will get behind your argument with the foam, but
Get behind me.
the boots.
The apple bottom jeans and the boots with the fur. Come on.
No, I don't know. I just hated it. Okay, but then Domino's,
Pizza.
he shows up while Rufus is giving this class, and okay, I almost liked this.
Almost.
He blows up the door. He comes in and actually I don't know who that guy is. I don't think he's like a well-known actor, but I thought it was pretty good.
I liked his costume too, where it had the lights in the collar
Yeah.
that kind of lit up his face. It was a neat effect. I liked
Yeah.
it.
I honestly didn't like any of the bad guys' costumes.
No, it was all pretty bad, but I liked the light because I didn't catch it at first. I'm like, he's got a light in his collar and it's just
it was-
illuminating
it was
his
kinda
face.
cool.
But yeah,
lights in the costumes, like Hulk Hogan's penis light.
Oh yeah, got to accentuate the things that you want most prevalent.
Yeah, like the bad guy's double chin was really the only thing that was lighting up was his double chin.
But I like that guy. I thought he played it well. And he's bringing in and flaunting his Bill and Ted bots that are going to go back in time and stop Bill and Ted. And you know what?
I love the effect.
Oh, actually, yes. It sucks.
Pretty good, honestly.
Yeah,
because they did a really good job when they took it off and when they put it back on, but there's a weird edit. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I think they did it kind of like with all the effects. There's this like the cut where they seam it. Seam in it. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Did you catch it or no?
I didn't catch that, but almost aside from that was like the only effect I think they did well.
Yeah, they did it really well, but it's weird because you go from they had it like all the way on like done, and then it cuts to like this far shot, and they're like still messing with their faces, like the actors are messing with their, and I'm like, they backtracked on that shot. That was not it. You're right, they didn't seam it well, and it was like okay, whatever. So these guys they're gonna go back in time to stop Bill and Ted, who I think at this time. To kind of go back a little bit, are having a party for the Princess Babes. They even before this, of course, they tried out for the Battle of the Bands, which I was actually excited that Pam Grier was in this movie.
I have no idea who that
I love
is.
Pam Grier.
Who?
Pam Grier. She was the talent agent lady.
Who?
She was at the auditorium when they're like auditioning, and she's like,
Where?
"You guys don't have talent, but you work for this chicken place, so I'll give you a chance." I didn't understand that, but I guess it was a joke.
Okay. Who?
Yeah, Pam Grier, I love her. Anyway, so yeah, they're all signed up. They're gonna be last on Battle of the Bands. They go to the party for the Princess Babes, and it's their like 521st birthday or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It was over 500.
Yeah, yes. And this movie has like so many stupid little jokes and stuff throughout. I feel way more than the first one. Yeah, way more than the first one.
Okay. Oh, another thing. The talent lady. Talent lady. It's like, I'll put you guys on last.
Yes.
I mean, I guess in a talent show situation, last may not be the best place to go.
Right.
But you would think that's usually the headliner. You think it's like, toss them on first while people are still here and like.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Get them out of the way.
You don't know a lot about the talent industry, do you?
I ain't got none of it.
But yeah, so there are a lot of things that happen in this party. You get the whole Missy Mom thing, which now is... I know.
Yeah, but they didn't play it as much. They just kind of kept it in there a little bit.
They just kind of sprinkled it to kind of, I think, connect the two movies.
She's swapping.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
That was funny. She went from, what was it, Bill's mom to now she's Ted's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, okay, that's pretty good. The guy from the Oates Academy was there, which...
That dude was a fucking creeper.
He was, like the way he was staring at the Princess Babes for a second there.
He made me so uncomfortable.
Yeah, he was really weird. He was a really weird guy.
I hope that they bring back the hot mom in the third one.
I wonder what she looks like now.
Is she still alive now?
Oh, well,
that's rude.
I don't mean like, oh, well, geez, what would she be, like 60 now? She's definitely dead. I just mean like, things happen. It's been a long time since the last movie. Who knows what could have happened to this person?
Yeah, I guess that's pretty true.
She'd be roughly the same age as Keanu Reeves. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess that makes sense.
He's still around and kicking. He hasn't died. So
yeah. So okay, now the evil Bill and Ted. Okay, they're coming back, and again, this is right after they propose to the Princess Babes, and I love the rings, by the way. And should they not still be wowed by these plastic rings because they come from medieval times? They're probably, these are awesome.
Like, where do you get such a strange material?
Yeah,
they've also been around in like modern times for like a year.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, I don't know, man.
Oh, and then if they were like, where'd this come from? And they're like, they were made in China. That would have been mind-blowing. Ooh,
yeah.
From the Orient.
Yes. But I thought that was pretty funny because I'm like, I like the cheap rings. But I'm like, actually, that would be really cool, I think. But yeah, so they pop the question. They say yes, and then Evil Bill and Ted show up. But they don't show up yet to these guys. They just kind of come into the picture in like this a parking lot or something. They're always trying to squish a cat.
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird.
Then, it's kind of like, whatever. It's kind of dumb.
That joke did not quite hit home.
No, there's a lot of jokes in this one that did not hit me where they should. I'm just saying, I'm sorry. I will say this right now. This is no original Bill and Ted.
You get more out of the jokes than I do.
I don't know. It's questionable. It's very questionable. So the evil guys show up, and now, okay, the princess babes take off, and then right after they leave in their car, because they all don't live together, they get a call.
Not until they're married.
Oh,
yeah.
Come on, let's be classy here.
Yeah. Bill and Ted, be classy.
But these are classy English old-timey women.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Okay, man, you're really supporting this movie for me.
This movie is not that bad.
They even say that as they're walking away.
They say what?
Like, what's the word they use? Chased or whatever?
I don't remember. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to let everybody know.
It's like they said, maybe we'll be able to stay in the same place once we're married.
Oh, yeah. I did not have a great time with this movie. So focus may have been shifted sometimes. Okay? I tried my best. I'm going
to be real. I've been real quiet because I wasn't all there for the beginning.
All right. That's one thing I will give this movie. I think it does get better as it progresses.
I can tell you what I read on Reddit.
Ooh, interesting.
No, I mean, that's what I was doing during the beginning.
Oh. I thought you're going to hit me up with like some facts or something. All right, forget it. Whatever, man. Whatever. Okay. So, they get a prank phone call from the evil ones, pretending to be the princess babes, and they're like, oh, we hate you guys now. Get lost. We're not going to marry you ever kind of thing.
We're going to the desert.
Yeah, they're going to the desert to be alone. And I guess that's kind of it. I mean, for the beginning.
When are the robots in their apartment?
It's actually shortly thereafter, because they show up and they make it seem like, we know you guys are in like a serious situation and we came back in time to help. Kind of like to play it off, Yeah,
because that's happened last time. And that's what even Bill and Ted said. They're like, oh, it's happening again.
Yeah.
This is going to be excellent.
Yes. And so they throw him in the back of the van, drive him out to the desert, and it has to be really far out there.
When the robots see the picture of the babes.
Oh my God! Yes, I wrote that down. Yes, they see on their way out to the van to drive to the desert. Yes. They see a picture of the princess babes, and they're like, something like, "This is giving me a very evil robot chubby."
Yeah.
Oh man.
Best line of the movie.
Wait, what I don't understand is the first movie is full of like this like prepubescent like humor, this toilet humor,
right?
And you're like, I love it. The second one is full of this same type of humor, and you're like,
no,
wow, this is lowbrow. Are you shitting me right now? It's the same thing.
No, you can
this
seriously
movie gets less than an 8.
You can seriously watch this movie and say it is on par with the first one. The only thing that's on par is it has the same characters.
I think a lot of the same kind of stuff is recycled.
No,
so yeah.
Well, yes. I think that's kind of part of the problem.
But why is it good in the first one and they use the same thing in the second one? You could say, well, I'm tired of seeing it. They should have done something new.
Right.
But you can't say it's a little less than the first one.
Well, no, and that's the thing. That's like you're right. They tied up the Missy Mom thing in the beginning. They just kind of like gave it a nod and they dropped it. And then they even kind of played off from it a little bit to show that it's now Ted's mom. So she went from one dad to the other. And that's kind of it. But like I just feel like they're amped up. I feel like in my mind, I look at it this way. They're like, whoa, kids really loved Bill and Ted. We need to bring Bill and Ted in this one. And I feel like they amped it up. I feel like they're more obnoxious in this one than the first one.
I kind of disagree.
No, you're wrong.
Yeah, I felt this was a little bit less obnoxious until it got to the end where they brought back the time travel play, and that was just like, I'm so sick of this.
Okay, so since we're bringing it up now, I literally wrote down. They're like, I will set up, and I wrote down, I will set up a good ending. Like I was just so sick of their shit at that point.
Yeah. In the beginning, they had a little bit of time travel, but then it kind of left the picture for a while, and so I'm getting into it.
So I think what I liked more about this one was it actually seemed to have a story. fuck you on the first one, because the first one was literally, I know you're about to argue
story.
it. The first one was literally, oh, hey, we hopped in a time travel booth. Oh, we went to the prehistoric age. We got a caveman. Oh, we went to fucking wherever the fuck Beethoven is. Oh,
Whenever there's a problem, time travel.
It's like, it's like, hey, welcome to this skit. All right, on to the next one. Let's grab a person from each skit and bring them up.
This one
is
did
so
have
funny.
a much longer running theme and plot to it.
We are on opposite sides of the fence because I honestly feel like this one is not as fleshed out as the first one. I feel like this one's more all over the place, especially in the beginning. I feel like the beginning especially is more skittish, how you guys described the first Bill and Ted.
Yeah, again, they kind of hooked it up with the first one, kind of like how they kind of brought in the mom jokes for just a minute. They kind of brought in the kind of like crazy Bill and Ted stuff, and they kept it, but then they actually applied storyline. And I was like, hey, this is Bill and Ted with a purpose.
I can all right. I will get behind the story. You guys are right, but I feel like that comes in on the last 2/3. I think the first third is just kind of janky and all over the place.
Because like as soon as they die, the story kicks in.
Yeah,
they die like a half an hour or so in. The movie's only an hour and a half long.
Okay.
So the first third is janky.
Well, yeah, because they're trying to connect it to the first movie, which is
okay. Then maybe they tried
as
too
you
hard.
say, janky.
I don't know. All right, whatever. I will say, okay, so I like how right before they take him out to the desert and throw him off this big rock, they show a Star Trek episode where William Shatner is climbing that very rock. Yeah. I don't know.
I didn't realize that at all.
I don't know if there was like really supposed to be a significance or whatever.
If you go all the way to the end of the credits, the very end of the credits,
yeah,
they have a special thank you to William Shatner.
Really?
At the very end.
Oh, man.
Special thank you. Because I just skimmed through because I wanted to see what was after the credits to see if there was anything special.
Yeah.
And that's all it was. Just special thanks to William Shatner.
Oh, man.
So-
Which is... go ahead.
I was going to say, at this scene, they get out of the van and he goes to throw a punch and he punches. He goes, whoa, you're metal.
Oh.
So I want to point out, he tried to fight him. He was confident he could fight himself. He wasn't too small and weak.
Oh, yeah.
I just love that, like, from the first one, he's like, you wouldn't want to fight me. I'm obviously too weak for you to fight me.
Maybe since then, he's been working out a little bit.
No, see, he knows himself.
Yes.
He's like, I could take me.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even put that together.
Very deep.
I will say that, again, I think they did this well in the first one, but it was pretty vague. They didn't do much of it. They did really good with the whole double thing with the twins.
Yeah, no, they did.
I don't know. I think just the way they mixed the two up, and I mean, because you could tell they played it safe, but the way they did it, still really good. It looks really convincing. But yeah, so they the robot ones, the evil BNT, they throw them off this cliff and they die. And I have to say, it is a simple, like nothing effect, but I like the way the dead Bill and Ted look.
I like the scene before that we can't talk about.
Oh, yeah. There are some things that happen in older movies that just they're not very PC anymore.
In modern times, people just, they put too many restrictions on comedy.
It's
they really do.
words.
They really do. We're not making any money anyway.
Yeah.
But so anyway, so I do. They have a very simple look. It just like this monochromatic like gray, and it looks good. I liked it.
And this is where Death shows up, and he is my favorite character.
Yes,
I absolutely
okay.
love his character.
Yes.
I'm glad we're all
Perfect.
on the same page there. He was the best character.
Thank you.
I think, honestly, he's probably why I enjoyed the movie.
He is a great actor. You guys probably know him if you didn't already look him up. But
Yeah, I know him from something. From something that I like used to watch as a kid or something, and I don't know what it...
I'll find out what I'm thinking then, because it's William Sadler, and he was in Shawshank Redemption. He was in was he in Bordello of Blood or the Demon Knight? One of those. He was in the guy's in a lot of movies, and actually he's a real serious actor.
Yeah, I can't place it, but I know him like really well from a specific movie,
Man.
and it's like in my head. I can see it, but I don't know. I can't explain any significant scene or anything. I just can see him in the movie.
Interesting. I can't think of any off the top other than those ones.
Yeah, I didn't recognize him at all.
Because as soon as I seen him, I right away went to Shawshank Redemption.
And they use him twice in this movie.
Yes, they did.
Wait,
I'm
where?
so glad you caught that. It's fun.
I didn't catch
Near
it.
the end, when they broadcast that like
the Battle of the Bands thing, right?
Like the thing to every TV in the whole world, and there's that English family.
Yeah.
Oh, I
He's
didn't
like the
catch
dad
that
or
at all.
whatever.
Yeah, I
Yep.
didn't catch it at all.
This was all supposed to happen anyway. Because think about it.
Well, it's time travel, of course. It's all set up.
Exactly, because their performance at this point is now going to be broadcast to all the TV, so everyone's going to see it, and that's what's going to
start worship and set it up for a third one. It just took like 20 years.
And I do like how they tied that element into this movie, but I mean, oh man,
this movie was tied very well to the first one, and I feel like it took a long time, but I'm assuming it'll be tied very well to the third one.
Maybe. I don't know. Let's get back to the dead Bill and Ted.
Let's rewind, guys.
Yes. Yeah, guys. We're going. They give Death a Melvin, which I'm eye rolling at this. But
I had to look it up.
It's what?
You know what a Melvin
I've
is?
never heard that term in my entire life.
Oh,
I
isn't
mean, I
that just
know
like a
It's a wedgie.
wedgie in the front, though? Right?
Yeah.
Never heard of that before.
It's a frontal wedgie.
It's like when your nuts get smashed by your
and then,
wedgie. Man.
and if you know anything about the Nick show, Salute Your Shorts, a Mervin is when you pull both sides and you it's a twofer.
But see, like that's the thing is that I feel like the movie would have been better in the time that it was.
Yeah.
Because now a lot of that kind of like that what was fashionable humor is just
Yeah.
out of fashion.
Yeah,
now.
It's true.
You can't call people pussweeds now.
or other things. Yeah, so I'm not thrilled because right after I'm watching this movie and I like the fact that I like how they look dead. I don't know what it is about it. I just like the way it looks.
About the death thing, really quick. No, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Is that I do eventually want to pick one of my favorite movies, which I said before is The Seventh Seal, because I feel like the whole death board game thing is, I mean, maybe this is a common in a lot of movies, but it's like that's like the whole point of The Seventh Seal is a board game that takes place between death and a dying man.
Ooh, interesting.
So I was like, wow, that's weird that they brought this really like deep older movie into like this really cheesy like 80s movie.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know anything about that, and that sounds awesome. But no, they go to the police station because they're gonna possess. Was it Ted's dad? Bill's dad? One of their
I think
dads.
they just went to try and talk to him because they didn't know they could possess people when they went.
Oh, okay. And this, man, I know the graphics are a sign of the times, but I wish they wouldn't have done this.
I gotta say, them jumping into their heads was not that bad
I didn't think it was that bad either, to be honest.
compared to what comes next.
Ooh, I'm curious because I might contest that. I don't like when they were standing in a doorway and somebody walked through them and there's a
Okay, yeah.
that sucked.
That was the babes were in the doorway after.
Oh yeah,
That was when Bill and Ted said they were pussweeds before.
right. That's right. Because I
Oh.
forgot they tried to go there first.
Yeah, I didn't know the order.
Yeah, neither do I.
But yeah, when they turned around to walk through, that outline around them was so bad, and the effect was terrible.
It was bad. They should not have used it. They should have just like dialed back a little bit.
But again, maybe during the times that was acceptable effect.
No, I'm sure it probably is. And it is. It's probably, at the time, they're probably like, whoa, that was awesome. And it just didn't age well.
Excellent.
Yes, but now it's totally bogus.
Yeah.
We move on. Okay, the police station, they possess the dad. And, him acting as Ted wasn't horrible.
I liked it.
Yeah, that was funny.
When the other, I can't remember who was who. I think when Bill jumped into the other cop, I don't know. It was all right, I guess. I don't know. I guess apparently Missy all of a sudden is into like seances and shit.
Yeah, that was.
Oh,
And I like how that's what sent them to hell.
one other thing though, when the dad goes to play his little guitar solo.
Oh.
I love that it was a clean guitar.
Yes.
It's like an acoustic or some shit. Like,
I thought that was pretty
great.
good. Oh man. But yeah, they go to Missy's house, or I don't know if Ted. No, because they got their own apartment now. Duh. They go where Missy is, I guess, given the seance, and all they're trying to do is get this message out that there's an evil Bill and Ted and shit, I'm assuming. And like now there's like this haunting, so she's freaking out. So she does like this, she recites like this incantation or something, and that's how they're sent to hell. And at first, I kind of wasn't on board with all this hell stuff, but when it kind of got deeper into everything, I really liked it. Like that, I think that might be my favorite part of this movie.
I also like that they get in there and the first they say, "Whoa, we were lied to by our album covers." It looks just like a million album covers I've seen in there.
Everything. This is what I like about the whole hell scene is it's like, I don't know, the director playing around with like surrealism or something, because this weird military bunker scene, it's like everything's all like kind of distorted and like wacky, and then of course
this was really interesting. I really liked how the whole set was made.
Yes.
It was just really strange.
Like all the sets and stuff, like in this scene were, and it was shot really interesting. Like except first I wasn't behind it. At first I thought it was kind of stupid, because then that Mr. Oates guy, or Sergeant Oates, or Drill Sergeant Oates, whatever, he's coming and giving them a hard time, telling them that they have to do like an infinite number of push-ups. They can barely do any, and they decide they're gonna make a run for it. And then, of course, they do the one thing in all movies that you should never do.
I wrote down, it's like, never split the party.
Yes. They're just like, let's split up. And I mean, it's Bill and Ted, so of course it's a great idea. And they go their separate ways.
What, honestly, though, it's kind of weird. Because in the earlier movie and in everything leading up to this one, they're never apart.
Yes.
Why was their first idea there to split up?
Yeah, I don't know. I just looked at it like, I hate it when movies do this. Oh yeah. Oh my God, I forgot. I almost glossed over this. I do have a favorite quote of this movie. So great. And it's when they're with the drill sergeant guy, and he said, "You're not strong, you're silky boys." And I'm like, what?
Isn't silk really strong though? Isn't it like hard to rip or something?
I don't know.
Like, I don't know.
I think you're right though. But yeah, when he called them silky boys, oh my God, I lost it, and I love that so much. So now I have to remember to use like savory clothes when I can, and to cut people down by calling them silky boys. Or actually, maybe now I think I could put a twist on it, and make it a positive thing. Like, what up, my silky boys? You know?
Yeah. We should be the silky boys instead of the rewind.
Yeah. Time for a channel change.
Well, yeah. So, oh my God, I lost it.
I did like hell.
You better make that channel.
I like that they made hell almost like their psychological thing.
Yes.
Hell was whatever they thought hell was.
Yeah. So Ted went through one door, and it was this. Ted was like a pink room.
What the fuck was that rabbit?
Oh man, I guess an Easter bunny or something.
Dude, that bunny was pissed.
And now it was like 10-year-old Ted, maybe.
Yeah, that was weird.
10-year-old Ted who's taking Deacon's Easter basket, and the bunny is not having it. Not having it. But as creepy as that bunny is, we go over to Bill's room, and he's also, I think, 10 now, and he's having like a birthday party for his grandma, who, by the way, is like insanely creepy and has the worst hair lip. It's like these long gray hairs. And how they're running through, they get back out of these rooms, and they meet up conveniently out of the doors, like adjacent doors, and they're like kind of in like this like a cross section. What would you call that? Like a
intersection?
Yeah, like this intersection. Whatever.
What do you call it where there's like two things that intersect?
Yes, exactly. Thank you. And like they're looking down the individual hallways, and like that creepy old lady's just coming down. And
I like how when Oates steps out of the door, he's fucking huge.
Yeah, well,
like,
I mean,
he barely fits in the hall.
But that's what I'm saying. Like how they did that, and like how they filmed it with like the angles. It was awesome. Like it really was creepy. So this hell scene was one of my favorites, and I, like I said, I don't know if it was just a way for the filmmaker to just kind of toy around and have fun, but it was really cool.
I also really liked how once they decided to play death,
yes,
it instantly ended and he was there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, just without, it's like it really was a mental thing the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and this leads me to honestly, probably my favorite part of the movie, which is really sad to say, is the stupidly over-the-top long fall.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
like,
that was funny.
Excuse me. Like at first I was like, okay, this is just ridiculous. But they held on it and like stuck with it to where it kind of like, okay, now it's pretty funny. It's pretty good. And then of course they hit the bottom, and it's they're challenging death, and they get to pick the game. Mike, what game do they pick?
Battleship.
Yes. And they win, of course. And so now Death, I don't know what the fuck his accent is. Anybody?
Oh, I was wondering that from the first time he spoke.
I
have no idea. It's like some Russian-German hybrid or something.
You must play me again.
What?
Best 2 out of 3.
No way!
Yes way.
No idea. I like it though. I'm not gonna
Vermin.
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain about it. I think it's really good. I don't know if it's like the actor's character choice or whatever.
Again, I thought that was kind of weird because it did remind me of the accents that they had in The Seventh Seal, which I feel like death was really based on the death that was in that movie.
And that's a really
Maybe
old
it's
movie,
just
right?
a common thing that they do in movies. I don't know.
Maybe it's kind of like an homage kind of thing to it or
Could
something.
be. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe that's how they did it. They took like popular death things, elements.
It'd be really cool if it was, because
I have no idea. It might just be a coincidence or just a common way to, show death in movies or something. I don't know, but
Interesting. Okay, so they win Battleship. So Death is like, no, 2 out of 3. And so, Russell, what's the next game they play? Come on.
is this the twist?
No.
Shit. What's next? I can't remember.
Mike.
Clue?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because Death is like in the corner studying his notes.
I love that.
That's right.
You get a star. 1 point for Mike. All right.
He's
I knew
winning.
this one. I didn't fuck up.
But yeah, and then it's like, he loses again. He's like, 3 out of 5. And the next game, I've seen these before. I don't even understand how the hell they work. But I think this is the little buzzy it was an NFL
Like
football
electronic
game.
football, I have no idea.
And, like,
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is.
that was so 80s.
I love how he's just sitting there and he's watching one football player guy go. He's like buzzing in a circle, and he's just so pissed off. It's so good. And then they're just like 7 out of 10 or whatever it was at that time. I don't know, because then I think that's when they played Twister, and he finally, decided to just be like, he just fine.
Did you notice the right before he fell, the leg?
Yeah.
Like,
Was that normal? Was that his leg?
I couldn't figure out what was going on there.
Yeah.
it was so weird. Like, you could see it bending unnaturally to try to reach it, and it was so like.
That's what I thought, but I'm looking around and I couldn't see if like it was gonna be like some fake leg or another leg, and it looked like maybe he's really doing that.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out either. I thought maybe because you couldn't really tell what his body was like. He had that like robe on,
Yeah.
so maybe I don't know. It just seemed just
It was really weird, so maybe it wasn't. I thought it was, but it might not have been him. Okay, so I guess their plan to take out their evil robot selves is to build other robots to go
Yes.
up against robots, because they can't do it. They're obviously way too powerful.
They're metal.
Yeah, exactly. So
Too metal.
they ask Death for his help, which he has to, because since they won, like he has to do their bidding, I guess, apparently.
Yeah, which
forever.
I thought was kind of odd because at the start they're like, "Can you just bring us back to life?" And
Yeah.
he's like, "Well, if you beat me at a game, sure." But now all of a sudden it's not only do I get to bring you back, but I'll just do anything you want.
And I thought that was kind of weird. The stakes were very uneven, in my opinion. It's like, well, if you lose, you have to stay here forever. And I'm like, well, they're dead. Wouldn't that already be a given? But
That's kind of what I was thinking.
and then they're
whole time.
like, but if we win, yeah, apparently he has to do their bidding. But I thought the same thing. I was like, there's really no true consequences for them because they're already dead. I thought that was kind of weird. Maybe it's just me.
But
No,
I feel like there didn't have to be really a consequence because Death never loses. So it's like, I'll give you whatever you want because you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Oh.
You just name your price because it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm going
I-
to win.
I
Because he even
guess.
said, he's like, I've never been beaten before.
Yeah, I guess.
I
So-
didn't catch that part, so
He, of course,
yeah.
he can't help. Can't help. So he's going to take him to the person who can. And they go to heaven. Heaven's a very weird looking place.
It's
This part annoyed me.
Why?
The mugging.
Oh.
I thought it was
all
funny.
right.
I thought
mean,
it was
like-
funny.
I liked it, but I also I don't get how it helps them.
Yeah, I couldn't figure that out either. Why they had to wear those clothes and be those. Oh, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Why?
Well, they had to pretend to be those people who were getting into heaven. They had to get past what is it?
The bouncer.
Saint Peter. Is that who's at the gate? Saint Peter.
I don't. They're like
In
a bunch of different women. They were like just letting people pass that. I guess
No,
was supposed.
but eventually they get to the.
That
to
guy.
The
Oh, I
main
forgot about that
guy.
guy. Yeah, I'm assuming it. Yeah, probably.
I'm not really great at
Yeah.
that religion stuff.
Yeah,
but,
and I am because I'm correcting you. Yes, of course, it's exactly who that is.
Yeah, they had to pretend to be people who were actually getting into heaven to get
but-
past the.
All
bouncer.
right.
I mean, Death in that outfit was pretty funny, especially when he came out and they're like, "Oh no, it looks good on you." He's trying to be like, "Oh,
But
really?"
yeah, I like how was it Bill that pointed out? He's like, we just mugged people to get into heaven.
Yes.
We better get out of here before we ruin it for them.
Yes. The heaven was okay. It was all right. And I think, saying it again, because it's going to be one of the things that saves this movie for me, Death's character, I think that if it were anybody else, or if it wasn't such a prominent character, this movie would be like nothing to me. I guess.
You're nothing to me.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm sorry.
That kind of like was the anchor that carried them through the story.
Yeah.
He was a supporting character.
Yeah, I think he stole the show. I mean, my opinion. I'm sorry, man.
According to the credits, he tried.
Yes. So, okay. They get into heaven.
He loves show business.
Yeah. Oh, yes, he does. They get into heaven. They talk with God, which I want to question something after this because I'm confused. I'm confused. They talk to God and they're like, "Hey, we need to make these things. We gotta do it quick. We need your help because we don't know how else to do it." And he says, "Station," and little glowy red ball comes down, boop, and boop, and it makes a glass disc. Is that a map?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That answers question number 1. Station this is the most confusing to me. Station, are these two creatures and not a location?
Yes.
Well, I guess it could be defined as both.
Because in the beginning, I don't even know. Because in the beginning, in the school scene, everybody's like, it was almost used like a greeting. It was like station, and everybody's like station.
Well, yeah, in the future, Station saved their ass. So of course, if now Bill and Ted in the future are like kind of like running the universe or whatever,
Okay.
they're gonna like make it kind of like a like praise that guy, that being, that weird alien thing, you know? Like, you know what? You saved us. When we become kings of the world, we're gonna make your name an important thing.
I'm taking this way different now, actually. I'm taking it like God recognized them for who they were and was just saying station as like an acknowledgement.
No, because that's all Station could say was station.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so confused. I'm
Station
sorry.
was the little alien dudes.
But yeah, okay. So they find these creature guys with they got some good asses. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, yes.
I mean, I
Those
have written
things are-
down Station thick.
Yes. Yeah, thighs and ass for days.
He's like 50% ass.
Yes, I will agree with that. So they're brought back. They're back into their human forms. Station, both of them are there, and then Death falls in, which is pretty good. And they go shopping. They go to the hardware store.
No.
Oh yeah, I like when Death falls in and he's like wearing like some sneakers or something.
I saw that.
And
Yes.
it's like, hey, I just imagine Death being barefoot or just floating.
He was barefoot for like the other half of it.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
was. Why did he suddenly have shoes? Was it an accident?
Oh yes, no. He was barefoot when he was in all the like heaven and hell and all those places. But when he came to Earth, he had sneakers. Gotta protect your feet,
well,
man.
Yeah, I
Is that
guess.
why he fell for the your shoes aren't tied thing?
Oh, maybe.
'Cause I thought it was weird that he fell for that when he wasn't wearing shoes.
Well, yeah, but you couldn't tell, right? I thought the cloak was long enough because I was
Yeah.
looking to see if he had shoes and I couldn't see anything. So that would make a lot of sense. That makes sense.
I have another question.
All right, what do you got?
I wasn't alive in the 80s.
Right.
Were there just payphones in the middle of hardware stores?
Oh, I think payphones were everywhere.
I mean, like, if you look, it's like right at the end cap of an aisle, there's just 2 payphones.
I mean, I couldn't say for sure, but I'll be honest, I wouldn't put it past it.
That's
Yeah, I just kind of assumed, like you said, I wasn't there, so I was like,
Because I
maybe there
remember
were payphones.
It's just a funny thing because it seems so strange to see that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now,
I guess, like I said, I couldn't really necessarily confirm that, but I mean, like, I remember going to larger stores and they would have designated areas for payphones, so I could see maybe a little like mom and pop kind of or hardware store or whatever, just having a payphone somewhere.
I mean, I remember that.
Well, this
None of them
wasn't-
ever worked.
This was a big hardware store. This was their ripoff of, what was it, like Builder Square or something? Because what they call it.
Oh, I didn't see.
Because wasn't there Builder Square back in the day?
Yeah,
They don't have them anymore, right?
I have no idea. I guess that, you know what's weird? I guess I thought they did.
Because what they call it, they had a ripoff name of Builder Square. They called it like,
Constructor's Cube.
No, I don't know what it was, but it was something similar, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh man, yeah, no, I didn't
Should
catch
have written
that.
it down.
But yeah, they go hardware shopping for random bits and pieces to make the robot Bill and Ted. And I like the guy smoking in the aisle. That's like, see you soon.
Oh my god, I love that.
That's so good.
I also like that pushing station around in the cart.
Yes.
So cute.
Oh man. Yeah, they get their stuff, and we get this weird. Okay. First, I'll address this. There's a weird parking lot scene where the station runs at themselves and
Yeah.
becomes like Mega Station.
I've seen
That
that,
was
before.
disturbing.
I didn't know that was this movie.
I've seen the creatures before and never realized where they were from.
Yeah, same.
But I that's it. This is as much as I got on this movie. And they hop in the van, they start working on the robot Bill and Ted, and they're off. Now, before the evil Bill and Ted even make it, and I want to touch on this because I hate this so much. Before they even make it to the Battle of the Bands, this arena or whatever, they have this scene where they're being very metal and evil in the apartment.
Yeah, dude, that was hardcore shit.
I hated it. Upside down cake, whoa! And he's like just throwing stuff, and they're pulling the robot heads to flex the technology of this movie in effects, and I hated it. It was awful.
They were programmed to try to be annoying like Bill and Ted.
Yeah, no,
and that's
true.
what they did.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's true, 100%. Because I even like when later on when we're on a call with that Domino's guy, and he's like, "Man, I really hate these robots."
Yeah.
and I thought the same thing. Like,
I
well,
was agreeing with them.
yeah, and yeah, exactly. And I'm like, you programmed him, but on the other hand, you wanted to, you have to have him that way. That's the only way it's going to work.
I liked though when Ted's head was off and he was on the floor, but you could see as he's talking, like the floor is moving and shaped like his shoulders.
Yes. Yeah, he needed to stay a little bit more still for that, but that's all right. And then, of course, when his head initially hit, they did not hold that long because that looked bad.
Yeah.
That was bad head. And, there was, honestly, aside from that one, the other things they did weren't awful, but this is such a cheap scene just to do these effects, and that's it. I don't think...
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree completely.
And it's just like, okay, enough monkey business. Let's move into the final phase of this plan. And then they're off to the Battle of the Bands. This is awesome. Greatest scene of the whole movie. 10 out of 10.
What scene is this?
This is
This one where station turns around.
this actually is not that great. Man, I don't even know where to begin with this. I was wondering how this is going to play out because they only show like one band, I think, maybe playing, maybe two.
Primus.
And is that who that was?
Yeah.
I thought they looked familiar, but I couldn't place it. And they're good. And so I'm like, how is this going to play out with Bill and Ted? If these guys are good and Bill and Ted, Bill and Ted,
Tendies.
Bill and Testes, Bill and
Ball and
Ted
testes.
are supposed to be.
This is running away.
It really is. Gotta have fun with this somehow. No, they're supposed to be like the show of all shows that brings all this peace. I'm like, how? I am so confused as this is like starting to kind of unravel, and I'm waiting for it. And okay, so the evil Bill and Ted, they're getting ready. Pam Grier's setting them up on the stage, and
Who? I had to.
the attractive lady is setting them up on the stage, and they're like, "We're ready, and we're gonna be killing our girlfriends or something." And she's like, "Oh, good luck," and
Yeah.
she just walks away. And I hate this because obviously the real Bill and Ted show up, and now it's this huge spectacle that clearly the crowd thinks is part of the show.
Yeah.
And they're cheering.
I
Everything's
like
going
the scene, but I
great.
hated this part too.
Oh, how easily those evil ones were defeated?
Not that. Why did the good ones come through the wall?
Oh,
They were with Bill and Ted.
yeah. Effect?
I mean, yeah, literally there's no other
they
reason.
had to put on a hell of a show, man.
Oh, yeah, that's true too.
You know Rufus set this shit up.
He
Just like the first one. He
yes.
set it up. This was all like, we got to make these guys kings of the universe. or
Yeah,
whatever.
that was a big letdown. I'll get to that in a second. So the robot, the good robot Bill and Ted show up, and they're just like, oh man, good like idea or nice play or whatever the hell they said. And they stood there and like, later Bill and Ted, and they just like uppercut their heads off. and all is well. And I'm like, what? Yeah. And then, of course, the tail end of this, the last part is, and it was so soul-crushing to me that Pam Grier was Rufus.
I mean, like, I was like, oh, man, she's taking off.
I know.
And I'm like, okay.
And I'm like, oh, it's George Carlin.
And I was like, oh, this is getting better.
Also, no.
Like, why?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
You could look at either one of the Bill and Ted's that we've seen so far and ask, why?
Yeah. Why? I don't know. I was really upset. I'm like, oh, come on, man. You ruined it. Another thing. And then, okay, so...
I thought it was funny, though, that he was the hot chick
the
whole time.
Of course. And so it's coming down to the wire. I'm like, how are they going to do this now? How are they going to play? And they're like, well, we'll just leave. We'll go into time and we'll learn how to play, and then we'll come back to this exact moment.
Exactly.
And I'm like... Okay, and they do that. They were gone for like
they bang the princesses a whole bunch.
Yeah, yes, they come back with kids, awesome facial hair.
I know, almost like
yes,
I'm getting the Ted look.
No, so yeah, and they said like they had like a really intensive like 16-month like training session or something.
So what I'm wondering is that all the stuff that happened in 16 months?
I'm assuming
they grew
so.
the facial hair. That his beard is like 18 feet long in 16 months.
Yeah, I don't know.
They have all
man.
those kids. Like,
what's the future, man? Maybe there's some hair growth stuff
in 16 months.
Yeah, but maybe he bought something.
No, it's
to
the
help
future,
it out.
man. You literally rub it on your face and the beard pops out in an instant.
But
that's what I'm saying.
Then they only go 16 months into the future.
Oh, I don't know where they went in the future. I just know they went and I assumed they probably learned from historical great musicians.
I assume they went 16 months.
I guess you're right.
Like
when you have a time machine, it doesn't matter.
Right.
There's
yeah,
no
I just
such thing as
assumed it
time
was like
anymore.
16 months outside of time just practicing it.
Yeah, and I just assumed they were like maybe like doing kind of like the first movie where they're like visiting all these like really famous musicians and stuff. And
if it's outside of time, how can it be 16 months? 16 months is time.
I don't know. But so they come back and I guess they put on a great performance.
Yeah,
which
they did.
It was not that great, and their guitar playing was awful.
Okay.
They introduced Death as the bassist.
Yes.
Yeah,
They're like the man with no tan. I'm like, hey, that's me.
That's how I'm going to start introducing you.
Shouldn't have said anything. I shouldn't have said anything.
Oh my God. I need something for you now, though.
Think about it. Like, this was actual death metal. Death was in it. They killed themselves in the show and then played music.
It's like a gore concert.
It was death metal, man. Like, this was the epitome of, it was the perfect show.
Nice.
It was the perfect crime.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah, so everything's great. You see William Sadler as an Englishman somewhere. He plays another part. Just a small little, like, Easter egg, I'm assuming. And then we kind of wrap it up with, during the credits, we get all these headlines, and I only remember one. I'm curious to hear what ones you got. The one I have is something like something like newly found using air guitars to cut down pollution or something like that. I'm like, that's so stupid.
I wrote down the ones I had is Reaper wins Indy 500. His quote, I didn't know I could run that fast.
It's the shoes. It's the shoes.
And then the other headline was Domino's weds Missy.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one. I like how it's huge in the paper though.
Yeah.
It's like front page.
I
Like,
know
who
this
cares?
dude's apparently just cruising.
Yeah.
Like he's out. They were like, you tried to kill us, but you know what?
They just wanted to be excellent to him.
Yeah, I kind of thought that was pretty weird too. But you know what I wants to know?
I don't think okay.
I want.
What you wants to know?
Did you have something important you wanted to say?
No, I didn't have anything.
Okay,
I was
okay.
just like, whoa.
Because I wants to knows. Your guys' final thoughts and ratings. Unless you go. Wait, no, I started with me last time, didn't I? Oh, by the way.
What?
I like how we all decided to wear the exact same clothes.
For this
week,
episode?
yeah, a week later.
It's almost as if we filmed this on the same day as Power Pills, the movie.
Power pills, yeah.
Power Pills, the movie. Yeah, that's so weird, man. Ironic and very coincidental.
So you can see how much we like the last one by the fact we can't remember the name.
I know. Well, it's been a week's time. We can't remember everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, Russell, let's start with you. What do you got about this movie? What do you think?
You know, Bill and Ted is starting to grow on me. It is. I just really did not like the first
Grow yourself
one.
a little chubby.
But yeah, I got like a serious robot chubby going on here. I'm gonna like loogie on it later.
Oh my god.
You know, see if Ted's mom will come over.
She's still alive.
Yeah. Well, they have time machines, so they can go back to when she's hot. You know.
Yeah,
and-
of course.
So I feel like if I now go back to the first one, I might give it a better rating because now it's like it's becoming one movie. I'm seeing the connection to this one, and it's all becoming like this big universe. And I'm getting into it. I'm gonna give this movie because I thought the main thing was they didn't really use time travel, and that made it better for me because that was one of the biggest things that really just was like I just hate time travel movies. They're just dumb. I mean, there are some that are okay. I think I'm going to give it a 6.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, we're doing that. What did I give the first one? Like a 4 or something?
Yeah, I think it was a 4.
But
I think
this
it
was
a 4.
I thought this was pretty good. In a
am-
stupid way.
I'm shocked. To tell you the truth, Diane, I'm surprised.
But yeah, no, I seriously might give the first one a higher rating now because like it's starting to grow on me.
Yeah.
It's getting there. I'm like forcing myself into this new person who likes Bill and Ted.
Interesting.
And it's happening.
You know what, Mike? I'm going to go next.
Fuck you, Mike. Everybody hates you.
No, I will definitely agree on the growing on thing. I feel this one could grow on me. We've watched movies where I've had very similar feelings, and I'm like, I hate that movie. And then after I kind of stew on it for a while and think back, I'm like, yeah, that movie was pretty good. And I think this is going to have that effect, but, you know, this was a hard watch, and I think just because you're right, it deviates really far from the first one.
Yeah.
So I think that's what kind of took me off a little bit. I was expecting this over here, and you gave me this over here.
You were expecting Mike, and you got me.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
so what would you rate?
So what
your
you
Russell?
wanted was Mike, and you just got me, and you're like,
this is my way of putting it out there. Anyway, yeah, I mean, you know what? Part of me wants to give it middle of the road, but I feel like even with middle of the road movies, I would watch them again.
You would not watch this again.
I will come in. Here's the thing. I will come in at 4.5 because I do feel this could grow on me and become a 5 or a 6, possibly. But I'm not ready to water that seed anytime soon. You know, I don't want it to grow right now.
You don't want to grow from like a 4.5 to a 6.
Yes,
You just got like a chub going right now.
This is,
So many, I was gonna say the chub jokes.
this is something that maybe if somebody else is already watching, I would sit down and watch it again. And I think I could get into it knowing what I'm in store for. I do like the surrealistic scenes. I love Death. That character is really what saved it for me. And like I said, I like some small effects that they did, and that's kind of it. It's all it really offers. There's a few wonky edits here and there, and I don't know. It's not the first one for me, and I'm hoping the third one does not disappoint. Mike.
So, as we all know, I didn't enjoy the first one all that much.
Ooh.
I think I'm in the same camp as Russell, where if I went back, I'd like it more.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed this one quite a bit. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but if I had to guess, my chub is sitting at about a 5.5 right now.
Ooh. All right. So we got a 6, a 5.5, and a 4.5. Nice. Man, now I feel like, you know what? I think what we need to do to satisfy this Bill and Ted urge, we need to get some pizzas, and we need to have a Bill and Ted party, and we need to watch both of them again, so the first one can grow on you guys, and the second one can grow on me. We'll have a growing party.
We need to get a third
Jump
one.
party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh yeah.
So this has been the Rewind Chubs.
Chub wine.
Chub Wind.
Or the Chub Boys.
But,
Oh man.
so I've liked these movies more and more as we've watched them.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting a lot from the third one.
That's scary, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a lot from the third one too, though.
It's gonna be awful.
Well, we gotta make it past October. Gotta make it past
October.
October. Oh my God.
Oh no.
No. You guys heard nothing.
Oh, was I not supposed to say that yet?
And that brings us to the end of this week's episode. You guys, thanks so much for joining us this week for this conversation. But you know what? You can do more than just listen. You can be part of it. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Rewind Guys Pod. That's REWGUYSPOD. Or email us at REWGUYSPOD@gmail.com. And let us know what you think about this movie or any movie we've talked about here on the podcast. And you might even hear it mentioned on a future episode. And also, just want to let you know that we are 100% listener supported, so consider doing one of the following. Subscribe, like, comment, tell a friend, go on over to iTunes and give us a rating, or even consider becoming part of our Patreon cast and crew. More details down in the description and show notes below, and we hope you join us next week. Step on all my stupid papers. All right.
Are you squeezable, sir?
Oh, hey, I'm a flash drive.
yeah, Mike brought your flashlight back.
Oh, no.
He also brought Sexy back. If you didn't notice.
I know. I was just thinking about how his clothes look really savory.
I'm just happy that this pop filter's here to block my nose. I tried to clean it up last night, made it worse.